What's up, cousins? It's DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. I need you guys to come in, join the discussion, become a subscriber if you are not already, and make sure your notification bells are on so that you don't miss a thing. What's up, cousins? Welcome to the cookout. Welcome, everybody. Nice to have all of y'all here. Child, I hope somebody got the ice. We need as much as possible. Put them in the coolers. Put them everywhere, okay? So that we can stay cool out here because, baby, oh my goodness, the sun is not playing with y'all. The sun is not playing. But come on in, everyone. Welcome to the chat, child. We are here to talk about Belle Collective. Okay, this is, what season is this? Season 8, episode 5. Season 8, episode 5. Okay, come on in. I see a lot of y'all are here. Let me say hello to some of y'all, okay? I see Yvonne. I see Michi. What's up, girl? What's up? Dyrese is in the house. I got Lady D Keys. She is here. First of all, she is a member. Let's say that. Lady D Keys, welcome and thank you for being a member, girlfriend. And she is also a moderator. So I don't mind if we have different opinions, but just keep it cute. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go back and forth with anyone in the chat or me, because you know what I'm saying? Those people on that TV show, they don't know us. They don't care. They just want us to watch. You know what I'm saying? So respectfully, we'll do that. I also see Bliss. I see Gloria in the house. Happy Sunday. I see my other member, Miss Teresa. Welcome, girl. Nice to have you. She said she got the ice cream. Thank God. Okay. Oh, I need it. It's hot. Who else do we have? We have Lee Fu in the house. Welcome. I have my sister. This is my baby sister, Clone, in the house. We got the same mama and the same daddy. So welcome to her as well. All right, y'all, listen. This episode is flooring me. I am completely caught off guard with the conversations that is being had over this 400 acres. I'm not going to lie. What's up, Glaze? Come on in. I don't know if they are dealing with swampland. Is the shit all quicksand or what? But the way Carrie sat at that table and said, bitch, we don't need that land. We don't need the land. Marlene and Matt was like, Carrie, I could talk for myself. I can talk for myself, girl. You don't have to do all that. What's the problem? It shooketh me. I was completely shooketh. I had no idea that we were in a place as Black folk where we could tell somebody to take their land and shove it. I thought we were still looking for our 48 acres and a mule. I thought we were still looking for reparations. So yes, it has me shocked and floored. I need y'all to take the poll at the top of the chat, please and thank you. Marlene isn't going to be here forever. You know what I'm saying? Marlene recognizes that her time is winding down. She wants to make sure that when she goes, that land goes where it's supposed to. And I'm telling you right now, if Carrie baby has her way, because she said, baby, my mama got land. We don't need your shit. I couldn't believe it. My flabbers were absolutely gasted, okay? Come on in, hit that like button, take that poll at the top of the chat. I need to know how rich you Black folks are. I need to know, because baby, with everything that's going on in the White House and how they have rolled back all the shit that we had fought for less than 50 years ago, I was like, we're not in a place where we should be saying no. This might be giving the wrong impression, okay? All that damn protesting people doing at Target, for what? Carrie said she don't need it, okay? So anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I just thought that was comical. Let's get into this. I do want to, first up, let me say this about the show. I saw Miss Marie the other day. Let me put her up. Shout out to Miss Marie over there, Marie Monroe, over there on Belle Collective, child. She got her hair braided. And I just want to know who's responsible. Who's responsible for giving her those damn curtain bangs or whatever they are Maybe is it baby hair? Because after a certain age, you cannot be slicking that shit down to your forehead like that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and keep your BDBs, okay? Your edges and your BDBs, let them just rest. Do not slick your hair down like that. And Marie has a good grade of hair. Marie has a good grade of hair. So I was definitely shocked when I saw it. She's singing a little Jodeci, Forever Your Lady. I think that's what she's singing in this video. But anyway, I think that she's pretty. I was just shocked to see all of that. Okay. I was shocked to see all of that. Anyway, I implore you, if you are if you can't have a baby anymore, do not slick your hair down. Okay. Let your edges be free. Free as a bird. Don't do shit. Okay. Spritz them. Spritz them so that they can be visible to the human eye. We don't want people are begging for edges. Don't do that. Don't do it. That's all I'm saying. We'll start there. And then I'm going to get into my skincare because y'all know I always share a little skincare tip. And right now, even though I was sharing the rock with the retinol and all that stuff, during the summer months, you have to be real careful about going outside with that on your skin because you can literally burn your skin. You'll get a sunburn real quick, which is why you should wear SPF and things. But if you want to give yourself a little break because you do enjoy the sun like I do, then this is a great product. This is a mask and it's called Medicube. It's a collagen and jelly cream is what it's referred to as. Okay. And you're supposed to wear it in the evenings right before you go to bed, put a little bit on the skin and you wake up and your face looks amazing. You can't even believe it. You look like a completely different person. And right before, after I finish prepping my skin to apply makeup or whatever, I'll put a little bit of this on and I use it as primer actually. And it does wonders. It makes the skin looks amazing. Okay. So if you're interested in buying, you should see a little shopping icon right on the front of your cell phone screen. Click that and it'll take you exactly to the store to buy. Or if you are on your computer, there is a link right underneath the menu bar and you can tap that. And my channel, you know, the kids on TikTok do this. My channel will get the credit, okay, if you're into that ASMR stuff. So please give it a shot. I promise you, you'll see a difference like overnight, not 5 weeks from now. Next day, okay? But anyways, what do y'all say? Everything for everybody. It's a what? Everything ain't for everybody. It's a no for me and them damn edges. For sure. Absolutely, okay? All right, y'all, take that poll because I need to know how rich y'all are in the comments, okay? So listen, it picked up exactly where it left off. Y'all know Carrie was having dinner with, or not dinner, I think she was out to lunch with Matt's mama, Marlene. And then she said she needed to call in her own mama, Eleanor, for backup. She said, listen, you got the best of me and my mama last time, but this time I had a good sit down and convo with my mama. And I told her, you better jump in. You see her swinging at me. You better jump in and take care of business because I am biting my tongue. I'm not getting out what I want to say because I don't want to look like, you know, this is elder abuse. So if it's you fighting her, at least it's two old women fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? I know what Carrie was trying to do. And unfortunately for her, she still missed the mark. Eleanor did not jump in the way she was supposed to. She tried 2 good times. And then she said, bitch, what you invite me for? Because I can't get a word in edgewise. You are sitting here going toe to toe with this lady, screaming on her, yelling on her. She's sitting here tapping her glass like, Carrie, if you could shut up, Carrie. She kept clicking her glass. I said, that's why you should have never came. And you should have told her that before you even showed up. You should have told her that before you even showed up. Carrie, don't bring me out here to help you. And you got me out here looking like a damn fool. And I'm sitting here with my mouth open like I'm watching a Venus and Serena tennis match. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth like this. Oh my God, the sisters are going at it. No. That's not going to happen. But that's exactly what did happen. Okay? Oh, hold on, child. I didn't mess my damn notes up. Okay, here we are. So Eleanor ends up saying, after she realized she can't get a word in edgewise, when they finally did take a break, Eleanor ends up saying to her friend, Marlene, she said, Marlene, you are my friend. I don't want you to leave here and think that you and me can't still be cool. Because even though my ass is sitting here, I still respect you. But then she said, you and my daughter are too much alike. And that's exactly what I told y'all last week. I said, Carrie, Matt married his damn mama. I said that last week. I don't know if anybody, if you're new here, welcome. If you are new here, welcome. But I said that. I said Carrie and Marlene are so much alike. It's insane. But literally coming from Carrie's own mama, she said, your problem with my daughter, the two of you are too much alike. And Matt said, thank you. I agree. He said, y'all both got the take charge spirit and you don't know when to back down. Absolutely. Neither one of them know how. Neither one of them. They keep going at each other. And even with that, they bickered so much at that table that literally I was just like, can I take a good note? I have no idea what they're talking about. But this is what I did here. Carrie ends up saying that her mama owns multiple properties. She said this as a flex to Marlene. First off, Marlene, my mama owns multiple properties, multiple, and they have never asked Matt to come in and manage any of them. They're trying to give it to him. And that's when Marlene said, well, this one, the 400 acres, is already his. That's number one. And who gives a shit what your parents have? I am trying to make sure that we work for all of our life goes to my son, goes to my grandchildren. That is a real thing, to want your family to take care of something you gave blood, sweat, and tears to. That's just what it is. But Marlene said, well, no. I don't care about what your mama and daddy got. This is the, whatever his last name is, the Paul legacy. Okay, this belongs to the Pauls. And I want to make sure that Matt knows it, that he has it, right? Anyway, Carrie then says, I don't need your land. Carrie started talking big as fuck. I don't need your land. Not to mention the fact that when Matt's daddy passed, you should have divided the property then. Now Carrie is getting big on her britches, telling her mama-in-law what she should have done when her husband passed away, which I was sitting there like, Carrie, the way your teeth would have came out of your mouth, the way your teeth would have came out of your mouth if you were sitting at my family table, if it was my mama or grandmama and you said to them what they should have done when their husband left the earth. That was a bold move, baby. Bold as fuck. Anyway, she said you should have divided it then. The fact that you needed to control all of it, to keep your hands in every single pit. That's when Carrie looks over at, Matt's mama looked at him and she said, you gonna let her talk to me like this? Are you out of your mind, Matt? Did you hear what she just said to me? Like, she's doing that. And Matt is like, Carrie, I can speak for myself. Carrie, stop. No. He's literally saying that because he knows what type of mama he has. He knows that Marlene comes prepared. Okay. She don't have on that big ass, what type of jacket is that? I don't even know. Overcoat, whatever, trench in the heat. Okay, that's because she packing. She got something in her back pocket. She got something in her back pocket and she can pull it out at any goddamn time. You need to make sure you watch yourself. Now, I understand Carrie has a lot on her shoulders. She has a lot of burdens on her back. I get it. But she is pushing the wrong person's buttons. Okay? The fact that Maureen was able to stay inside of her skin when she mentioned her late husband tells me everything I need to know. I think Carrie might be the problem. That was not your place to tell her what she should have done when her husband died at all. You wouldn't want anybody saying that to you or your mother. in your father's absence or your parents' absence. That's just the wrong thing to do. If you got it like that, then shut it. Why is it so important for you to keep telling her what she can do or how you can do it? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. After she tells her, when your husband died, when Matt's daddy died, this is how she said it too, you should have divided his land as if it wasn't hers too. As if Matt's mama met his daddy 2 days before he passed away and had everything signed over to her. She was his wife. It looks like they married young, child. They had a family. She was there for that man. Even if you don't fucking like it, you don't get to talk about it in the aftermath, not on them cameras like that any damn way. Your word being disrespectful. You were being disrespectful. But when she says that, even though we got Matt over here saying, Carrie, no. Marlene, Eleanor is also telling Carrie to shut the fuck up. She said, Carrie, stop it. Stop it. So this is what's coming from the two people at the table who still Carrie can't hear and Marlene can't hear. And Marlene ain't going to hear. Marlene is whatever many years old, child. There's a place where people get when they are old. You know what I'm saying? Where they really just don't give a damn. Okay, I played it safe for a long time, and now I got your little pissy ass sitting in front of me telling me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. No. Okay, that's just what it is. And you have to know when to hold them, hold your tongue, and when to fold them. Fuck, period. But there was a lot that was going on, and from my perspective, I thought from what I was looking at, it appeared that Carrie was one who was pushing the envelope a little further than it needed to be, especially since she just said at the end of the episode that they are in financial ruin. If they're in financial ruin and you know that that land is coming to you, that's a safety net. And I have to say, not a lot of Black people have that. Even if you're middle class or upper middle class, you are still taking care of your mama, your daddy, your children. There's a lot that comes with that responsibility of having that little extra money. You have money that will belong to your great grandkids after Marlene, transitions from this world. So I'm confused. Like I said, is it swampland? Is the shit quicksand? What is it? Because I always thought, just, on site, listening to the words 400 acres, that would be some money, honey. That's what I thought it was. Anyway, take that poll at the top of the chat. Take it at the top of the chat. Take it at the top of the chat, okay? So Carrie continues to tell Marlene that she does not want anything from her. I don't want that land. I don't need it. And Marlene taunts her. She starts taunting her, and she said, well, guess what? He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it, right? She got them shades on, but she's still looking her dead in the eye, and she's letting her know, that's my son, right? Anyway, Marlene ends up telling Matt and Carrie, for the most part, because Carrie also makes this comment too. This is the other part I heard. Carrie said, Matt, your mama used your daddy's property. Your mama uses your daddy's property, your dead daddy's, because she refuses to give his mama any credit whatsoever. Bitch, you're nothing. You're nobody. If it wasn't for Matt's daddy dying, you wouldn't even be talking big to me. You know what I'm saying? This isn't even your property for real. It was Matt's daddy's property. And really, he wanted it to go to the kids, not even to you. He wanted to skip over you, kind of shit. This is the stuff that Carrie is saying. At least that's how she's making it seem. This was his daddy's property, and you weaponize it every time you want something out of Matt. Again, Matt tells his wife, shut up, Carrie. Do not speak like that. Do not speak like that for me. Do not speak like that to my mama. Now, in confessional, Matt is like, I hate being in between these two. I hate it. But in the end, I'm going to have to side with my wife because she's my wife. I have no choice. I love my wife and I sleep with her. That's where I lay my head at night. So, in the end, if my wife and my mama cannot get on the same page about this shit, I'm not going to be able to take the land, is what Matt says in confessional, okay? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Are y'all listening to this? I didn't even know you could say no. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Marlene basically says that Carrie tries to control every motherfucking thing. She uses Matt at her whimsy. She wants him to do only what she tells him to do. Like he has no other family or no other responsibility outside of her. And that pisses her off. And she wants her to know that she can see the overplay for fucking underplay. How dare you? Who do you think you are? Right? So she ends up getting that shit out. Good for you, Marlene. Because that might be true. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Carrie continues to fuss out Marlene. Marlene thinks she gets, a big one off. And that's when Eleanor eases back in and says, do you hear how you're talking to my daughter? Saying that she got a screw missing and shit like that. Could you please not do that? And Marlene looks at Eleanor and she said, baby, if Matt talked to me the way your daughter, if Matt talks to you the way your daughter talked to me, how would you feel? And Eleanor literally goes, Matt knows better. He knows better because if he do, he wouldn't have any teeth left, which means that she's on Marlene's side. Your mama was on Marlene's side because Matt asked her a million times, please, Carrie, out of everybody at this table, you are the only one raising your voice. Can't you speak in a normal tone? And while he was doing that, his mama was agonizing the hell out of her. You know she don't know how to do that, Matt. You know she doesn't have the skill set to do that. She doesn't know how to speak to anybody. She don't know how to be I was like, oh my goodness. But that was what was going on the entire time. And Carrie was out of her skin. And it literally ended with her mama saying that if Matt spoke to me the way you speak to Marlene, he wouldn't have any teeth left. And Matt just kept his head in his food and he was just eating like this, like, bitch. What? I'm happy that we are in open space and that this is public because only God knows what would happen if we would have had this at the crib. You know what I'm saying? There would have been a whole lot of furniture moving. So bringing y'all outside to this patio was probably the best thing and the worst thing at the same time. But yeah, that's how the scene ended. Okay. I asked y'all to do that poll. We're going to look at it now before I forget, child. I need to see whose side are you on. Do you think that Matt has a right to his inheritance, or would you, as a wife, if your husband had 400 acres coming to him, would you deny him and your children their inheritance in order to save face or to tell Maureen to kick rocks with no socks? Or would you just stay the hell out of it? That's what I want to know. I asked y'all to take the poll. Whose side are you on? Do you agree with Carrie? If you're taking the poll if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put your vote in the comment section, okay? But I asked you guys, do you agree with Carrie speaking for Matt and telling his mom that they did not want the 400 acres? And 45% of y'all said, yes, you agree. Screw Marlene and her land. And 55% of you said you disagree and Carrie needs to shut the F up. Okay? Anyway, I think I told y'all how I felt by just the review part. I understand that Carrie has a bone to pick, but that's her husband's inheritance. What his mama is asking of him isn't that horrible. I need you to come down here and check the land, see what it is. I need to make sure that I have my I's dotted, my T's crossed before I leave this earth. And you are the son that I'm making responsible for that. I don't think that's a horrible thing. I don't. It sounds to me like Carrie doesn't want him to have any part in it at all. And she's not even thinking of solutions like, Marlene, I know that this is important for you right now, but can we do it this way instead? Can we maybe have his sister do it, or can we hire someone to help out with this until we have a little more wiggle room? I don't know, but I feel like Carrie is being super selfish and not understanding what that means. And just because your mother and father owns land, Carrie, doesn't mean you throw that in her face like, well, my parents own land and they're not doing what you're trying to do. Okay, from what Marlene said, they own 400 acres. That's one piece of the inheritance. And then they own several more properties that is also his inheritance. And that type of stuff, you shouldn't just let, fall by the wayside or come to you by chance. You need to know what that is. You need to sit with somebody and go over it. I think that's what Matt's mama said, because Carrie said something like, when she made the comment, when Matt's daddy died, you should have divided his property then. That was his property then. Matt's mama, Marlene, actually said, don't talk to me like that. Me and my late husband sat with a lawyer and had already discussed how we were going to handle it. And I followed those wishes to the T. So she really involved herself in a piece of their story in a way that was kind of shocking. It's shocking on the ears. That's the type of shit that when, the whole family is in the room, other kids, the grandkids, that's the shit that makes you want to punch that person in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody will be on the side like, whoa, girl, let's walk outside for a second before you get your ass whooped. It's that type of thing. And she just wasn't connecting the dots. She just wasn't. So come on in. I don't know. I don't think anybody should be that angry. You got to know. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, period. I get it. Then you got to do it yourself. You got to do it yourself. Carrie wanted the land divided so that she could have control over her husband's portion. You might be right. There's something about Carrie, it's more of how she's handling it. It's like she doesn't want him to have that connection with his mother because the land is his. He has to know what's up. He got to. There's no other way to put it. Okay? So I don't know. I'm freaked out by it. You said Carrie must have had too much caffeine. I don't know. Welcome, Miss Teresa. Teresa's one of my members. Y'all know I like to shout out my members. Bonita Barbie said that the wife could keep her name off it. It can go into the husband and the grandkids, or they can sell a parcel. Yeah, they could do all of that. But all of that requires him sitting with his mother and discussing it. And Carrie doesn't even want that. It's one thing for Matt to get to that 400 acres and say, Mom, I'm overwhelmed. And how did you handle it for all of these years? Which is really the conversation that needs to happen. Because it sounds like Matt was playing professional baseball. He was doing a whole bunch of shit. I think they said that he lost his father during COVID. So it wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? So if he lost his father during COVID, his mom has been shouldering a lot, not just grief, but also all of that property, all of the stuff that it takes that goes into that. Matt needs to hear his mother out, and he needs to do it without Carrie. I wouldn't bring Carrie to any more meetings, but unfortunately for him, he's going to. Anyway, Matt. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Latrice, y'all. Okay, so in the next scene, we have Miss Latrice. She's at the crib. Y'all know she got that nice ass house. And she invites Selena, who's having a wedding soon, and her good friend Tambra. Latrice and Tambra were supposed to be the bridesmaids or maid of honor or something, child. And they were supposed to be helping Selena with this wedding. But Selena also sounds like a control freak. And she's also somebody who takes a long time to make decisions. She gets held up with stuff emotionally, mentally. She can't make decisions. And so it looks like Tambra and Latrice, who were supposed to be trying to, push her along, they got their own businesses and things they got going on. So when they would ask a question, it sounds like when she'd be like, oh, no, I got it, they just back out of it. They don't try to push her to anything. So right now, Latrice is at home and she's invited these two ladies to the house. Tambra gets there first and they are literally making all kinds of jokes. Latrice said, this heifer don't have a dress. She don't have a venue. She doesn't have shit. The food, the nothing, the invitations. And if she keeps it up, we're going to be having the wedding at Taste. Okay. So Tambra and Latrice are laughing their asses off about how wacky this wedding has been so far, right? The planning for it anyway has been so far. And then when Selena finally gets there, y'all, Selena lets everybody know that she doesn't even have a wedding dress yet, right? She brings in two wedding dresses that she said she wants the ladies to look at. And Tambra is over there like, girl, you haven't picked a dress. Like, your wedding is next week. You have to get alterations, child, with that damn hourglass figure. There isn't anything that's showroom ready for you. So what are you doing? Like, they cannot believe how behind she is, okay? Anyway, Tree said, I knew you was going to do this shit. So I actually brought in a lady by the name of Samantha Wu, who is supposed to be like the top wedding dress designer in Mississippi. And she brings this lady to her home. So she has a whole, like a corral of dresses for Selena to try on. And she's like, baby, we gonna play this out. Let's start putting these dresses on. We drinking the champagne. And, they do their little moment, right? They're all talking about the wedding and trying to figure out what Selena got going on. And by the end of it, even though Selena did look very beautiful in at least two of those gowns, at least two of them was the shit and looked like they fit her well and could be ready to go in a couple of days. When she took off the last dress and the girl said, girl, so which one are you going with? Selena said, I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Okay. She said, I'm still trying to figure it out. Not to mention, I just ordered two dresses, so those are going to come in, and I gotta do a fitting for those too. If that doesn't let you know how far gone Selena's mind is, nothing will. Okay. That girl I would never, I can't do stuff like that with people who can't pick stuff. It drives me batty. So I will either have the takeover spirit and just be like, bitch, just show up. I don't care. Just show up. The decorations will already be there. Everything's going to be fine. Put on the dress. I'll pick it. But I will never be in a space with somebody who dips along and doesn't know, because it would make me very anxious. I would have too much anxiety. I don't like stuff like that. Come on in, everybody. Thank y'all. Hit the like button and share the video. Anyway, Selena did say that she had tried on 40 dresses, okay? And then she shared with the ladies that she hasn't even met her wedding planner yet. Y'all remember Letitia Pearson actually set her up with the wedding planner. She was like, girl, you are too far behind. Let me get you somebody who's on it, Miss Stacy. But she hasn't even met her yet. Everything they've been doing has been by, FaceTime and emails. And she said that she's going to meet her for the first time at the bridal shower. And that is also going to be the place where they supposedly, get the rest of the details completed. Whatever, Selena. Oh my goodness. Hey, everybody, what's up? Come on in. Okay, Bonita. Bonita Barbie said that my daughter is picky and very indecisive, and it's hard. Yes. I've become a pro at presenting choices, and you're going to pick from this, and you're going to do it today, not tomorrow. Same here. I can't do it. It'll crush me. I'll just be like, baby, these are the choices. This or this. Let's go. Let's go. Okay? Um Anyway, so that's how the scene ends. It was pretty funny. Now we're going over to Marie. Oh my goodness, another person who is talking about leaving behind her legacy. Marie, who started out these home healthcare businesses or these standalone healthcare businesses, which also I think operates as a place for people to go after they've in a rehab or something like that. For drugs and stuff. She had just got honored earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in April, by the governor of Mississippi. They called her down and gave her some sort of award for all of the things that she's doing in Jackson to help clean up the streets and stuff like that, and giving people a place to go so that they can heal. That Marie says she started that business when she was in her 20s. Okay, she didn't even know where it was going to take her, and now she is a multimillionaire with, I think she said, I want to say 7 or 8, maybe 10, I don't know, 10 of these businesses. If y'all know the number, put it in the chat. But for her to have all of this, I think she has 3 sons, a daughter, the stepdaughter Zuri. Okay, she said, baby, December 6, 2026, I'm resigning. Okay. I'm still going to have my finger on the businesses. I'm putting someone else there to manage this day to day, but I'm not doing that anymore. I have been doing this for well over 20 years. And she said, for me, it stops here. Okay. I'm going to be traveling, enjoying my money. And I want my kids, now that they have all gotten to a place where she thinks they're more responsible, she said, I want my kids to take over the businesses. I want y'all to be able to eat the way I've been able to eat and feed yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Feed your children the way I was able to feed you and my grandchildren. Y'all should be interested in this business. This is the legacy I am leaving behind for you. This was another very important conversation to be had on the reality TV, Black reality TV show. I thought it was absolutely awesome. But she takes them to this damn dilapidated building, child, because she said, listen, baby, let me tell you the type of decision making I got to do every day. It's her mama, her daughter, and her son, Jay. So anyway, she shows them this building, which looks horrible. But she said, listen, I just met up with the landlord for one or all of her facilities. And she said that he wants to up the rent $5,000. And she said, I bought this building whatever many years ago and hadn't done shit with it. But now that this motherfucker wants to raise the rent to an extra 5, I could renovate this shit for maybe 20, own it outright, and not have to worry about somebody controlling my income, because I'll own this business outright, or even what they want to do with it. Because sometimes they'll jack the rent up like that because they want to give it to someone else, right? They might be thinking maybe you're too successful over here. You're getting honored by the governor now and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, people's eyes start getting big and they'll say, I could give this business to such and such. I'm going to kick your ass up out of here. Shake things up in your life for a little bit. But Marie already owns a building. And she said, I can clean this shit up and have 20 beds ready. Okay, within 2 months, have 20 beds ready and end up taking, what she's going to take from that landlord, which is absolutely the way she should go. I mean, if that's all you're looking for is a building, right? If that's all you need. Well, anyway, she starts having this conversation with her kids. Her dad was also there. I don't know if I said that, but anyway, her oldest son, she says to him, what do you guys think about taking this over? Because this is your legacy. This is yours. And to be honest with you, it is a turnkey system. It's already successful. All you have to do is come in and learn the day-to-day operations. Okay. I'm not a nurse. I have a PhD in the blah, 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 blah. But when you come in, if you went to school or if you just learned under me, you could get your apprenticeship from me. Okay. Because she knows it, right? You couldn't ask for better. Again, this is the shit that we see all the time with others. But when it's right there dangling in your face, a whole carrot, and somebody's saying, baby, here's the key. Her son says, her daughter, it wasn't Zuri, it was the other one. But first, her daughter is like, I don't want this business. You know what I'm saying? She got ideas of probably being a fashion designer. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Whatever little girls think of when they're kids. But the oldest son, who should know how hard it is in them streets because he's been out there for a minute, he says, when are you retiring? And she gives him the date, December 6th. And he goes, why don't you get the building ready so that it can become a dispensary? Okay? She just told your ass that the landlord's trying to jack up the rent for her, $5K. And you tell her, get this building ready for a dispensary. I'll do that. And you just give the landlord an extra $5K. Which I was really shocked. I really was, because I think that if you see your mother successful and doing everything she needs to do, that you would want to learn it. I would think you would, but no, not him. She actually says that. And listen, just to show you that Marie was doing the work, she said, I actually looked into what it would take to do a dispensary. She laughs with him, right? She doesn't make him feel bad. She said, why don't you just take on the business and let this business get you to your dreams, right? If your dream is to own a dispensary, take this over, get the income from that, and then open up a second or a third or whatever you want to do. Okay, because that's the way to encourage him. But she also tells him a license for a dispensary is $40,000 up front. Okay, you can't make payments on it. $40,000 up front to have a dispensary license. And they don't give them to just anybody. She should have told him that too. You can't have any type of felony or any type of records. And since you're somebody who's just now getting your life right, you know what I'm saying? You keep saying dispensary like you want to get higher in your own supply. I don't know. But I did really respect and appreciate how Marie kept the door open for him and said, why not take this one over? Learn business before you try to open one. Because right now you're green on all areas, not just this arena, but you're also green in the dispensary arena as well. You don't know what that looks like. You have them people snatch that fucking license from you. You have no clue what it takes. Not to mention, they change the rules every day in these states about who can sell and who can't, right? On Monday, you guys are cranking out and you're making money hand over fist. By the end of the month, they've changed the rules so that you personally can't sell, but somebody else can. It's too new. And in the beginning, brown people were locked out. They were locked out. And if a brown person does own it, they're one of one. Okay. But yes, I really thought how Marie handled herself in the scene and with her son was excellent. He might not be able to take this on. But just saying to him, don't you want to learn how business work first? And then once you see what it takes to, bleed a little bit, you need to see what blood, sweat, and tears look like to make money. Then put that shit in the dispensary, which would be a contradiction from what she does, by the way, because I do believe that she works with a segment of the population that is trying to clean themselves up from drugs. So even that. But yeah, that was the scene. I think it was a tremendous scene. I really like that they are giving us this little extra. Her and Carrie right now, Marie and Carrie with these little business scenes, even their family moments, thumbs up. I love it. This entire season has been an ace to me. Okay, let's move on. Next scene, we got Latrice, child. Latrice has convinced Tambra to let her babysit little TJ, little Tambra Jr., aka London Simone. Okay. So she has agreed, she's convinced her to let her babysit so that she can warm Cliff up to her having a baby, which I thought was hilarious because London Simone beat the hell out of Latrice, child. Latrice didn't know if she was coming or going. She started off completely wrong, okay? When Tambra gets to the door, she is kissing on London Simone and hugging her tight, child, like she might not see her again. Like she might not see her again. She was like, child, I have never let my baby stay with anybody. And even though I love Latrice and I trust her, child, my heart, if it wasn't for all these cameras here, so I'll know exactly who to fucking sue. If anything happens to Linda Simone, I wouldn't even do it. But she ends up letting her stay over there. And she said, baby, I brought everything you need. Don't try to feed her nothing. Don't try to give her nothing extra to drink. She only drinks spring water. She only eats organic treats, no sugar, no sweets, no juices, no cookies, no cakes, no nothing. Okay? Don't put anything artificial in that baby's mouth. Tambra said, what? Are you serious? Excuse me. Tree said, are you serious? And in confessional, she's like, I think I'm going to let my baby just be free. When I have my baby, he's just going to be free. She'll be able to go where she wants to go and eat what she wants to eat and all that stuff. Like Tambra is being way too harsh, okay? Anyway, Tambra ends up walking out that door and baby TJ start tearing up the whole house, child. She was going up the steps trying to open up the door to the pool. If she would have went out there to that pool area, it would have been something awful for Latrice. Anyway, Latrice was out of her seat, running up, down, all around, trying to catch this baby. And the only person that seemed like they were in control and was cool was Cliff. Cliff was there. Cliff was giving the baby little piggyback rides. And after a while, Treese got too tired to run after the baby. So Cliff started running up the steps to grab her and taking her here. And when it was all said and done, Cliff said, listen, do I think you'll be a good mama? Yeah, you'll be a good mama, but you ain't ready. You're not ready. Okay. That was actually cute. I thought that was just the cutest little thing. But Tree said, I had no idea that babies were this active, child. Well, you'll get it. You'll get the hang of it, Latrice, when it happens, child. Okay. Anyway, meanwhile, Tambra and Damon are at lunch or dinner or whatever they're doing for the first time, because y'all know they don't go out for real. Okay. But Tambra said that she don't even really trust Latrice with her baby that much. She actually trusts Cliff more because Cliff had 5 kids that he raised and was active with. So she said, I'm very happy that Cliff was there. Latrice, on the other hand, I know this is an experiment that she's not going to know how to handle because my baby is active. That's why she doesn't get all that candy and sugar and shit. Okay, because she was moving around like she had a whole container of Kool-Aid that was filled halfway to the top with sugar. Okay. That is how little TJ was running around. Anyway, Tambra's sitting there with Damon. They have some small talk, but then they get down to business. And Tambra basically says that she still has embryos in the freezer and she doesn't know what to do with them. Okay. She's like, when we first went through this, I thought we would give her another, sibling, because I have an older sister and I wanted to make sure that my baby had a child to come up with, had a sibling to come up with. But life is hard, okay? And I am busy as hell. And the whole time she is having this conversation, Damon, oh my goodness, this man is sitting there chewing like, he just looked like, I refuse to engage you in this conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell he was measuring what he was going to say, because what he probably really wanted to say was, where's the paperwork to get rid of them? What do we need to sign to dissolve them? Because baby, we ain't having no more kids. Okay. I'm fine with this one. This one's my heart. I love her to pieces, but you and I ain't on the same page about nothing. Finances, nothing else. You got your place. I got mine. We ain't on the same page about shit. We barely on the same page about London Simone. And I don't want to bring another baby into that. That's what I got out of just how he was chewing. That is what I got out of it. Okay. Anyway, she's on the other side of that table talking about, well, I guess I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out if we're gonna have another one, or if because time is just moving by so quick. And he reminds her, and you had a health issue with the last one. You barely made it. Don't you remember that little art museum shit you did where you said you practically didn't survive the birth of the baby? So right now, Tambra and Damon wants us to believe that they're considering another child, even though you can tell that they were on the opposite sides of the fence when they were having the conversation. Damon entertained her with his mouth, but his eyes were saying something else. No. His eyes were saying no, okay? But we'll see what happens next, okay? Anyway, let's talk about Selena's bridal shower. Okay, so it's the day of the bridal shower, and Selena gets to meet her wedding planner for the first time, Miss Stacy. And Miss Stacy looked like she was dressed to get answers. I'm not gonna lie. Miss Stacy did not look like she was there to play with Selena. Not one bit. She's an attractive woman. Okay, she had on her blood red lipstick, that white wig, child. And then she had on like a wrestling outfit. Like, I wish I knew the name of some female wrestlers, but I know I've seen them on TV before because my brother-in-law likes to watch wrestling, and they look like that, like a little superwoman attire type of thing. And I said, but she is going to choke Selena out until she taps out with an answer. That's what I was getting from that outfit. But she is dressed to make sure Selena knows she's not playing with her today. Today is the day you figure out what you want. She has everything planned out. She gives her a couple of selections. Here's some cards that you could choose from. She has a little, like a memorial table set up for Selena's late son, where she has pictures of Selena and her son. And she also had a beautiful letter that was supposed to come from the son, saying how proud he was of her, and I love you, Mom, and all the stuff. She was like, I'm going to cater to you, but I want you to know that today's your last fucking day. Okay? Stacy was nobody to play with. That's what she was giving to me, and I appreciated it, because I said, baby, somebody better come in here and put their foot all the way up her ass. Okay? This is a day you're supposed to be enjoying. All these people are here for you, and you're going to be in a corner with me talking about the details for the wedding. So that just goes to show you how late this lady actually is, okay? But anyway, Carrie and Letitia end up showing up around the same time. And when Carrie looked around, Carrie was like, this is amazing. This is beautiful. Miss Stacy, make sure I get your number. I want to make sure that if I have to use you for a party next time, blah, 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 right? So it was good to see that Miss Stacy is on top of her shit. She knew that this was a moment that she gets to advertise herself on television, and she did not drop the ball. And I love to see that kind of stuff. Look, Samantha Wu, same for you, girl. Okay? You knew you was going to be on this show showcasing your designs, and you did not miss. You know what I'm saying? So I really did love that for them. But when Carrie comes in, Carrie said, how's everything? You got yourself a bridezilla, right? Because y'all know how Carrie is. Carrie got to get in a mix of shit. And, I guess Miss Stacy was like, well, baby, since you asking, yeah, she kind of a bridezilla and a bride late, because we really are at the wire. This heifer got to figure this shit out today before we leave this building, right? And as the words was coming out of her mouth, Carrie went, don't you talk about she's the bride. You can't stress her out like that. I don't even want to hear anything like that from a wedding planner. You ain't supposed to be talking like that over your client. I was like, girl, you do not see how Miss Stacy is dressed? Don't she look like she will rock your goddamn world right now? Don't she look like she will tear your ass limb from limb right now? So while she's doing that, Letitia is looking at Carrie like she went, here go Carrie. One more time. Here she is in the building, putting her nose where it does not belong. She don't even know what's going on with this damn wedding. And here she is trying to side with a woman who is a day late and a dollar damn short. That wedding stuff should have been planned 2 months ago, right? Anyway, she said, I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear her complaining about the bride. And Letitia said, good, let's go. Because you ain't supposed to be in their business anyway. So why don't we go over there? And if they need our help, they'll ask for it. But let's Miss Stacy and Selena handle their damn business. And you butt your way out of it. Okay. Anyway, that shit was funny. I loved it. I thought that was great. And I wish that we could have actually saw Miss Stacy, who was a absolute professional. Good for you, baby. But if she could have, okay, she would have cussed Carrie out, smooth out. So she better watch herself. Anyway, it was pretty funny. All right, now this was the last scene. Carrie just got so much stress on her. We might get a different Carrie in a season that she's not as stressed, because I think I think she's over the top, period. But maybe she doesn't know how to slow herself down when she got too much stress on her. Okay. All right. So anyway, we are at the last scene, which was also funny. Carrie said that she agreed to meet up with Matt and his mama one more time. With Matt and his mama one more time in order to get some peace and understanding, because their last meeting went so far left that it's causing a lot of problems for her in her household, with her mama-in-law, with maybe even her own mama, who I'm sure, based on how Eleanor was looking at Carrie, I'm sure Eleanor called Carrie and said, you did way too much. You got to know you're not listening. You're listening with your mouth instead of your ears. Okay. So she decides to have another meeting. All right. But before Marlene gets there, Matt and Carrie have a little bit of time to catch up. And Matt said, so what's the dealio? Are you able to unload this restaurant that, you're losing money hand over fist for, or no? What's up? And Carrie said, well, no, we had 2 buyers and funding for both of them fell through. And he said, well, what type of buyers do you got where they don't know how much this shit is going to cost or what's going on? And Carrie's like, well, we're going to have another month where I'm at least $20,000 in the hole. So I'm going to have to pull that money from somewhere in order to meet the debt of the restaurant and get, these employees paid. And Matt looks at Carrie. He said, no, we're not doing that again. That's it. We're done. And this gets Carrie heated. Like Carrie is like, Matt, I can't just do that. This is my business. This is my baby. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is $1 million business. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars dumped into this business. And Matt says, I want to be very clear. Matt said, I've been there with you already. We've done this. We've been there, done that. In other words, I've already cried for you in this restaurant. I've already sat and been patient with you. I've already done all of these things. I'm ready for you to cut your losses and stop the bleeding. We cannot continue to do this, Carrie. And she said, why not? Why can't you just sit with me? Why can't you just let me go through this? I got to mourn this. I got to do this. He said, you've done it. We've been doing it for months. We can't keep it up. We can't afford any more $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 toilet paper, girl. Get the fuck off the pot. It's over. Okay? Anyway, this lady was running Matt through there. Okay? At least trying to anyway. And Matt said, this is typical Carrie. Carrie does this all the time. She whines, she cries, she gets all of her shit out, and then she will beat me up when she doesn't get her way. This is very commonplace. I know it might look bad, like I'm being cold, but he starts giving some background. This is what happens. We've talked about this. The business didn't just go flat yesterday. We knew this shit for months. So we got to move it on, right? We got to move it along. Anyway, Matt tells Carrie that she wants him to let her waddle. Let me waddle. And I mean, she's crying, snot coming out of her nose, tissue literally dabbing her eyes. She got herself so overworked that she started getting fucking hot, like sweat, hot. I'm burning up. So she ends up jumping up out of her seat because she don't know what she's probably menopause or whatever. And he's like, "Where are you going? Sit down." She said, "I'm hot. I'm hot." Like she didn't know if she was coming or going. That's how crazy she was. That's how crazy she was. I was like, "Oh my God, poor Carrie." And she was in the midst of a full blown like temper tantrum, like a 3-year-old would have. And then she sees Matt's mama walk up, the reason for her being there in the first place. And that puts her in a whole different mood, right? So now she's like, oh, damn. But it was quick. It was fascinating to watch her go from that moment with Matt to, let me get my shit together because I don't want her coming after me. But Miss Marlene comes in there, child, with that green overcoat, looking like the Matrix with them damn big ass shades on and that turtleneck. I mean, she's not hot because they were dressed completely different. But she comes walking in there and she hugs her son and she attempts to hug Carrie, but she knows something's wrong. And she kind of pulls back like, well, shit, I don't know what's wrong with you. She goes to sit down. Carrie, she gets her. She tries to fix her face. She stands up to hug her mother-in-law, which I was real impressed by because I was like, you know what, Carrie, good for you for recognizing this is a olive branch here. You're there to make peace, right? So she hugs her mother-in-law. They sit down. And Matt says, I'm trying to get Carrie on the other side, okay? I'm trying to get Carrie on the other side and have a come to Jesus moment. And Marlene said, good, because here I am. I'm God. I'm the coming to Jesus moment that your ass need, okay? Hello. She greets her as if she's Jesus. And yes. He said, coming to God moment. She said, good, because I'm God. I'm going to get you where you need to be. And that's pretty much how it ended. Anyway, I am intrigued. I am intrigued. Y'all have my attention. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I like to see strong women with wealth on TV. Strong Black women with wealth. I think we need to see what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? We like to think that everybody speaks soft like Beyonce or Janet Jackson, when the truth of the matter is Janet Jackson liked to smack the shit out of people. Janet likes to smack people every once in a while, you know what I'm saying, and get them together. And Beyonce is good for singing somebody's getting fired right in the middle of a song. You know what I mean? You don't fuck up my shit. You know what I mean? So I loved that. I love it. I love it. We have to recognize that, you gotta stand on business. That's not how that shit works ever. You can play a part all you want and you can get your ass tricked up out of something. That's really what it is. What did it say? That's what it is. Period. You got to know that doesn't just come. There's a skill set that happens with that. You know what I mean? Harriet Tubman looked like she didn't speak a lot, but if you fucked up on the trail, you didn't get to go back home. You didn't get to go back home. You either keep afoot, let's keep on this trail, or I'm gonna have to bury you here because I know what type of motherfucker you are, right? You said, what's up, Trinidad and Tobago with the fruit salad? Yes, I think that this is so cool that Carrie and Matt have come in with their own storyline. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. You said boundaries are important too. I think that if people agree with Carrie, they agree with Carrie. And if people agree with Matt, they agree with Matt. Or excuse me, Marlene, they agree with Marlene. But I think that I, the person that I'm most familiar with is a personality like Marlene's. If there's something that belongs to your son, I'm going to get it to my son. I'm going to get it to my son. That's the personality, female personality types I'm used to. And I understand that it's a fine line. I do, trust me. But you can't let that just go. You can't let that go by the wayside. And personally, I think that Carrie is just going through something right now. But I think that 10, 15 years from now, when she looks back at this scene and, you know, I think she's going to have a different frame of thought. I think she's going to look at her husband and say, bitch, why didn't you take me to Sunnydale? You know what I'm saying? To the cuckoo house after this? Why didn't you? What was I on? Because that was a lot. That was a lot. She has a daughter, she has a son, and she's going to be just as much in their business. She is. She is, because she's a busybody. We saw that when she went to the damn bridal shower. She's sitting here telling a person she met for the very first time how to handle themselves. Wow, you should be talking about over this person. You don't know anything. You have no idea what their history is. How dare you? How dare you? You know what I'm saying? But she is just too blinded by her own mouth to recognize it. And the way she's going to know that lesson is because she's going to experience it through her own children when they're adults with their partners. And that's just how life is for everybody. For everybody, we think we know. You know what I'm saying? People used to say all the time, girl, you just like your mom. Or, well, I'll say this. My mama used to say that to me. You just like me. I don't know why you act like you don't have the same mouth. And I'm like, I ain't got your mouth. I do. I have it. Yeah, you let the state take that land from you, they're not giving it back. They don't give them. Like I said before, this is it. God's not making any more land, child. None of it. The idea, okay, that they own 400 acres of land that has been in their family for whatever many generations. Do you have any idea? I think that Carrie is being just a little stubborn, just a little bit, just a little bit. And I think that she will probably feel differently later. I think it's hard for her to see what she needs to see right now. Agreed. Agreed. All right, y'all, that's it. That was the review. I have some other videos that I'm going to put up for y'all a little later, okay? But everybody who came over, if you are a new subscriber, first, let me just say thank you, baby, because I did not know. I am racking y'all up. So welcome to the family, and damn it, welcome to the cookout. Let me put my little cookout video back up here, okay? I try to have fun over here. I enjoy doing these reviews, and I love when you guys talk to me. So come back through, talk to me in the comments, come back and hype my video up so that we can keep the fun coming, keep the fun going. Thank you to all of my members. Thank you to my moderators for coming in and hanging out with us today. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I think that's it. Hit the like button, share the video. Make sure you are following me on all of my platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And until the next one, bye-bye.